Telegram, epitaph. I got the horse right here.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner from the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm your co-host Mike Heads, and along with Drew Forster we'll be going through all 8 races on the Saturday, May 5th program, and after a bit of a break we'll also go through Sunday's card. Drew, big day. We also have the Kentucky Derby today, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Huge day. Kentucky Derby day, always very exciting. This year even more so exciting with local rider Mario Gutierrez. Right, and I'll have another.
Yeah, Drew post 19, a little bit of, you may compromise with that, but we'll see how he works, if he can work out a trip. But
Mario's not scared of being on the outside.
No, he's never been scared of being out there. I don't know if he wants to be that far out, but we'll see if he can get some position. It's a big quarter-mile run into the turn. So
exactly. I think he can kind of pick where he wants to be there.
But he's had a lot of focus on radio. He was on the Team 1040 earlier in the week. There's a lot of attention surrounding Mario, and there should be. A local kid getting good and
absolutely
ending up in KY. It's in the biggest race that there is, and it should be a lot of excitement a few hours down the road.
A lot of good press for us. It's been really good. And you can join us later here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
Right here. Get down here for the Mario Day.
Gutierrez Day here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
All right, we'll start off. We'll
jump right into it.
Let's get some picks. Let's get some winners here for the Saturday, May 5th program. We'll start off with the first half of the double.
First race on the Saturday card is a
7,500.
7,500 non-2, has the BC clause, non-3 for 3-year-olds and up, going 6.5 furlongs, and I've gone to the 5. Look out Dubai. He was running in the 17.5 non-2, non-3, similar condition, but for 17.5. Ran into a very tough stolen Otis that day. Silver City 7. It was obviously a much tougher race. He drops down to the $7,500 level now, and I think that drop is just too much. The second spot, I have another horse who was in that race too. A horse I really like, actually, Little Brown Guy. He had a lot of trouble that day. He broke out of the gate. Fernando kind of got after him a little bit, and he got jammed up in heels, and never really got to relax, right?
No,
never really got to run his race.
I agree.
Yeah. So I think he runs a lot better today. In the third spot, I have Dangerous Pleasure, a horse that's coming up out of Howard Belvoir's barn, into Alex Murray's barn from the Portland Emerald Downs circuit, and win allowance race at Portland 2 back. Ran at Emerald for 15,000, wide open. Now comes in near the 75 non-2.
Yeah, I agree with you. I went the other way though. I went Little Brown Guy over Lookout Dubai. I think the race does. It is those two horses dropping from 17.5 down to 7,500, and that's these horses are taking a bit of the edge, off of poor performance, especially Little Brown Guy off of poor performance.
Yeah, a really rough trip.
But he had some excuses. He lugged in leaving the gate. He was checked off of heels. Just nothing went right, and the horse spit the bit quickly. He's come back to work. I like him to take the trip in behind the speed. I think there's going to be just enough speed maybe to bother Lookout Dubai, which may get him beat. But I think those two look the best. That's my exactor. But the only different one, I put in the 4 Kentucky Clipper for third. But I agree with you. It's 5-2-2-5. But I did go to the 2 Little Brown Guy to win the opener on Saturday. Moving on to the second race, we have some $25,000 claimers, 3-year-olds to go 6.5 furlongs. All the races are 6.5 now. A little extra half a furlong for them to negotiate. I went to the 6 Veni Vidi Vici, a horse that didn't get to run his race first time out either. He broke well, then he got bumped around through the opening 16th, ended up 3 and 4 wide throughout much of the trip. And considering it was his first start around 2 turns, I thought he fought admirably. Lucky Moly Miner's probably the horse to beat, but there was only 4 lengths between them at the end of that race, and I just don't think this horse did a lot of running and was out wide where Lucky Moly Miner had the rail. And so I think you'll get a better price, a lower profile jockey in Jose Tapia, and you might get yourself a 7 or 8 to 1, and it might get a good price on Veni Vidi Vici, but I think he can clear, maybe get the lead. I put in Sir Hayden in for second, likely favorite. Not too sure what happened with him. Boy, he was back far early and kept moving back. Made a bit of a run through the final quarter of a mile, but still needed to improve, and I put the 3 Lucky Moly Miner in for third. I went 6, 7, and 3.
I'm semi-similar to you here, Mike. I did put Sir Hayden on top. He was kind of a question mark what happened with him last time.
Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah, he kind of broke out of there. He was heavy favorite. He looked like he was going to
be near the lead.
Yeah, kind of fit right into that bunch, but he kind of got some mud in his face and backed right out of it. I don't think he liked the track that day. I'm going to give him a mulligan on that. I put him on top. In the second spot, I do have Lucky Moly Miner, who you mentioned. Pretty solid little guy. He only got beat 6 lengths to Unquiet and the Gov, some tough horses in that last race. Now he's in for the 25. And third spot I put in Royal Victor, Rob Van Overshot's horse, who win a maiden 20 here, first out of the box this year. So got him in third spot.
Yeah, his race is enhanced too with he beat Canucks Roar, who came back to Gallop
on Sunday.
Gallop last weekend. So yeah, definitely that would be my fourth horse, the one horse Royal Victor for a superfecta or something. But Drew's going to head to the 7 horse Sir Hayden. I'm going to go to the 6 Mini Vidi Vici.
And on to the third, which is a similar clause. Actually, the same race that we talked about, Little Brown Guy and those dropping out of the 17.5 non-2 BC non-3 for 3-year-olds and up. And then here I went to True Grit. Horses ran much higher level for most of his life. Ran in that optional 30 with dollar waiting on a dime, the first one this year. Ran a lot of $25,000, $50,000, $70,000 races in his life. Now he finally drops in to the 17.5 non-2 non-3, which fits him like a glove, right? Because he's the BC non-3 part of it. Wilson sticks with him. I have him on top. In the second spot, I have another horse. Fits his condition nicely. He's Whistler Gold. He was running in for 17.5, 25 all last year, running into Mr. Collaborator.
Yeah, no, he had unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky entry. Unlucky the entry. He's always running into Mr. Collaborator. He ran in that 25 Open Company opening weekend against Pop Artist, Bomb.
That wasn't much fun.
Dynastrol. Really,
nice
tough race for him. I think he fits in really good here. That, again, was kind of a coin toss for me between him and True Grit. I did go with True Grit. Whistler Gold in second. I have Prophet Star out of the Gary Sates barn with Bug Alexander Marty in third spot. Yeah,
I see it exactly the same way, except when I flip-flop your top 2 picks. I think those are the 3 horses, though. I went 1-7-6. I know you've gone 7-1-6, but I think Whistler Gold can find his way to the front. That was a dirty, tough race he was in against Pop Artist and Bon Bunny, especially for a conditioned horse. Horse with conditions still left to be up against. And True Grit, he ran in a tough spot as well. Anytime he's been put in a spot where he can be kind of the boss, he's usually run very well.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately for him, he's been jumped up and run, let's say, for 50 or 75, and he's run well, third. And so you kind of keep him up there and give him some more.
Exactly.
That's what caused him to stay up at that higher level. But now he's down here for 17.5, and I think he'll be tough as well. But I just think Whistler Gold has a little more speed, might get a better trip. I went 1-7-6 in the third race. All right, moving on to the fourth, we got some maidens here, fillies, 3-year-old fillies, to go 6.5 furlongs. It's an optional claimer. 9 of them set to go postward. I went to the 8-horse Sunny Soloro. Pretty impressed with her debut run. Got in a lot of trouble that day last year, and probably definitely should have won the money. Then was off for a bit, and really not many places to run. She ended up running a mile 16th in the fantasy
tough race.
And she just didn't run her race. It was a lot to ask, but it shows you what the connections thought of her. She's a very nice filly. She's a half sister to a champion, former BC champion Tierra del Fuego, and the pedigree is there. I think she showed enough talent last year where she's going to be dangerous. I don't think she needs the lead. I think there's going to be a lot of speed in here. I think she sits off the pace. She's been working really well. Chad's been aboard her last 3 workouts, and I know he's pretty high on her.
Knows her well.
So Sunny Soloro for me. I put in the 2 Hillingdon, who also ran well. Actually, at least has a race under her belt. Ran second to Madeira Park, and I put the 4, 2, 5, and 10 in for third, who flopped with blinkers and ran off, and for some reason just gassed herself. I have no idea why. There was no pressure put on her. Madeira Park ran by her like for fun.
Yeah, she was just had the lead to herself the whole way and just kind of.
I'm going to use your term. I'm going to give her a mulligan for her first race here at Hastings and say that she runs a little bit better. But I do like Sunny Soloro. I went 8, 2, and 4.
I put 2, 5 on 10 on top because of that. I think she showed a lot of promise. Got out to the lead nicely. Fernando had a good hold on her. She looked comfortable, and maybe just the first time around the track.
I don't know what happened.
Just kind of fell apart a little bit, but I think she puts it together today. Maybe a trip over the course, a little more comfortable with her surroundings now. I think she's going to be a lot tougher.
I know they would drop her. Sorry to interrupt, but I know they would drop her if she was just totally no good. I know this barn would be in for 10.
20,
and so to give her another shot up this high, there had to be something went wrong. Like maybe she needs a tongue tie. Maybe she needs something that
little adjustment,
a small adjustment that will cause her to run a lot better.
Yeah, so I do have her on top. I went with Hillingdon, like you, in the second spot. A horse, Dino thought enough of last year. She was running in stakes.
Yeah.
Ran second to Manure Park last year.
Good run first. No, this year.
That was the first one this year.
That was a really good run.
Park. She ran very good. So I got her in second spot. And third spot, I have Maisel's Secret out of the Carl Lawson barn.
Good. All right.
Yeah, this horse ran a little rank last time. Marnie's having a little trouble with it. She was like up on the pace and kind of very green. And I think with a race under her belt, she's going to be pretty tough. I think she's got some talent.
Yeah, just got to overcome the post. But you're right. I was kind of impressed with the run. She did keep on running and pushing up because the horse was 4 wide throughout much of the race, as you mentioned, was giving her some troubles. But there is definitely some ability there, so definitely might be worth a look at a bit of a price. But I'm going to go to the 8, Sunny Soloro. Drew's heading to the 4 horse, 2, 5, and 10. Moving on to the 5th race, we do have some 3,000 claimers here. Big dropper in Woom Broom Express. We should note, though, that 4th race did kick off the pick 5, too. Right. There is a carryover of $5,400. So there's a pick 5 carryover just over $5,000. So do take a look at the pick 5s for today. But in the 5th race, I went to the 7, Arrive, maybe to knock off the favored Woom Broom Express. I think Woom Broom may get caught up with the 4 horse Deputy All-Star and even the 3 Country Kids. So there could be some pace in here. 6.5 furlongs. I think maybe Arrive, who was kind of clogged up on the inside, kind of didn't get out until late. I like Amadeo Perez being on the horse. This guy's just on fire right now. Both the Perez's are on fire. So I'm going to try Arrive. That might be a little 5 or 6 to 1 shot, maybe to upset the even money Woom Broom Express. And I put the 2 Mucho Verde, who's on the class drop, in for 3rd. This horse has been much better since removing the blinkers for Spud O'Connell. So I'm going to put him in for 3rd. 7-1-2.
The only one I agree with you is Woom Broom. But I put Woom Broom on top just because I know they were really high. They thought that he'd win that 7,500 for fun. He obviously had run into some trouble that day. Now he shows up in the numbers of the year for 3, sorry. And class of the race, he's made 130,000. Oh,
he's a cool horse. Yeah.
Really cool horse. So I do have him on top. In the second spot, I put in Great Prince, another horse that likes to win. 11 for 66 lifetime. Pedro squeeze most of the wins out of this horse. He gets a lot out of this horse. He shows back aboard him, so I like that. And I have Tepe All-Star in the 3rd. Another one that likes to win. Another one's win 11 races. When you look at these kind of races, a lot of these horses win 3, 4 races. These 2 have both won 11. So I give that a little bit of advantage. It's something that I pay attention to.
No, it's good to note the horses that run well and that are professionals. And Deputy All-Star and Great Prince are both professional type horses. So
1-5-4 for me.
All right, go to the 6th.
On to the 6th, 3-year-old filly allowance race. Another interesting race where we see one of last year's best 2-year-old Sunnyside Gal show up. 2 actually out of the Troy Taylor Barn, Sunnyside Gal and 2 feathers. And I went with those 2 on top. I went with Sunnyside Gal. She did little wrong last year.
No, what a nice filly.
Really nice filly. Had I think set a record for most people in the winner's circle. A heavily syndicated horse. Gave everybody a lot of excitement last year. Like I say, did very little wrong. Really nice filly. So I have her on top. 2 feathers has the out. Ran into the monster Claire's Mizey in her first start this year, which is a lot for anybody to handle.
Yeah, no, she ran well though.
But ran really well to run out for 2nd. I remember we talked about that day. Mike was worried that she might try and chase her a little too much and tire her out, but she did really good to hang on for 2nd. So I have her in 2nd spot. And in 3rd, I have R. Eleanor, a horse coming from Hastings via Keeneland, Kentucky, Fairgrounds, Chicago, Toronto.
Got a lot of stickers on her luggage.
She certainly does. So I got her in 3rd spot. It's on the suitcase.
Like Suitcase Smith, our good buddy.
That's right, well-traveled.
Well-traveled.
So I have her in 3rd spot. Hamill shows up, McPherson, I like the connections there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I got the same 3. I got Sunnyside Gal on top. What a great season. Took like a horse like Gabby got her way to beat her. That was the one beat her in the sale stake, but she did nothing wrong last year. Ran nothing but good races. Ran 3.5, 6.5. She's just a cool horse. And I put in our Eleanor in for 2nd. Pretty professional horse, pretty seasoned horse. Anytime at least you're doing that much traveling and everything, you've seen a lot and you're pretty professional and obviously bomb-proofed. So I think she'll adjust fine. I think she might even be able to beat Sunnyside Gal because she's got a big conditioning edge. And I put 2 feathers in for 3rd. You're right. I was a little concerned with her going with Claire's Mizey, but she kind of settled and still ran a good race and ended up being a very easy 2nd. So I was impressed. And she came back to work very well also. So I went 2, 1, and 3 in race number 6. Our feature race of the day is the Jim Coleman Province. The 7th event. Got to field the 7 for a nice $50,000 purse. 6.5 is the trip. The 5-horse Clear the Runway looked pretty good in his debut.
Sure did.
Taylor's Deal was among one of the nominees to the stakes race, but did not surface in the entry booth. So I know that was all smiles in the Greg Tracy barn, not having to face that one again. But I thought a very good second. This colt was still running well at the end of that race.
He really
I just happened to watch, because Taylor's Deal had been running and had a bit of a big edge.
Fit,
and has already run a mile and 16th this year.
Yeah.
So this horse still running and trying to chase him all the way down to the wire. I was pretty impressed.
Did show a lot of heart, yeah.
I got to pick him on top. I put the one Mysterious Soul in for second. I was really taken by his very good turn of foot in his debut. It's a big jump to go from maidens that run in 13 into stakes company. But this race didn't come up super tough. Once Taylor's Deal didn't run, this race has come up considerably easier. And perhaps has a shot today. If Unquiet and Mr. Jigsaw and stuff go out there and Clear the Runway gets compromised, which could happen. But definitely like Mysterious Soul, like what I see. Maybe a tad too quick for stakes company, but there was no other spot to run in, so they ended up running in here. I put the 6 Time Goes On out of the Troy Taylor barn in for third, private purchase, since his last runner-up effort for non-225 gets class tested here, but obviously must have liked something about him, because they managed to sniff quite a few horses out of the Chicago area, so I'm going to give them some respect and put him in for third. I went 5, 1, and 6.
I'm right with you. I have the 5 on top, like you say, bang-up race last time to a horse that would be 1 to 9 in Taylor's Deal. Can't say enough good things about him. I flip-flop though. I have Time Goes On in the second spot. It's kind of a question mark for me. I don't know exactly what to think about this horse. He's only ran the twice, broke his maiden for 15 at Hawthorne, come back to non-220, ran second. I don't know.
I know if this horse was trained by just a random trainer,
John
let's say,
Smith or whatever,
right? Would you take this? I mean, this horse would probably be
15, 20 to 1,
30 to 1. But
with these connections, you never can tell.
There's some upside to this horse, and this horse has run. There must be some upside, or they wouldn't have purchased it. And you know,
and they have other 3-year-olds in the barn that could have ran the race, and they elected to run him. So they obviously think enough of him. They know what it takes to win these kind of races. They've won enough of them. So I got him in the second spot, and Mysterious Soul, really cool horse.
Yeah,
the horse is going to be rolling late. I don't know.
Pace scenario will dictate how much
exactly,
money he
and even as the season goes on and they run longer, I think he's going to be more and more of a factor in these races.
As he gains experience too.
Exactly. Yeah. So I put him in the third. Yeah, he is a little unseasoned and just had the one race, 6.5. There are a few things kind of going against him, but he'll be rolling late. So I have him in third instead of second spot.
Well, we both agree, though, on a very talented Clear the Runway, who did run a very good second to Taylor's Deal.
Hard knocking second.
Maybe to win the Jim Coleman Province. So we got one more dash. Race number 8. Non-winners of 2, $4,000 claimers. So we got fillies and mares here. I'll lead it off, Drew. I'm going to go to the 8-horse BMT out of the Pete Gregory barn. Pretty impressed with a lot of his races last year. I thought they were probably better than anyone else's races that they showed in 2011. So that was enough for me. Amadeo aboard. I put the 4 Fun Again, who has a race under her belt. I thought there was a better than looked 5th against Odd ZZ and Dreaming in the Dark. She's taking a slight dip in class, and I put the 2 Breakaway Paths, who's been working well for high percentage trainer John Morrison. So I went 8, 4, and 2 to close it out.
Were you looking at my picks?
Oh, look at those! Look at those little ones. Read my mail.
Again, BMT just looks like the. It looks like the most kind of accomplished horse in here that was running, tougher races.
Has speed, too. Yeah, has speed, and always going to be in position. There's not a lot of speed in the race.
Always seems to run good. Fun Again in second, the Clyde barn. Another one that ran 7,500, first out, now comes in for the 4 non-2. Fits nice in that category. And Breakaway Pass, a horse that fired first out here last year, made 10 win for fun out of the very strong John Morrison barn. Have that one in third. I agree. 8, 4, 2. Yeah,
it looks like for those of you playing the pick 4, pick 5s or something, might be all right to just maybe go 4 and 8, or maybe just the 8 stand alone with BMT, because this horse does look pretty good. Good workouts. I think the horse got a minute and change work. That's pretty flashy for non-2 $4,000 mares.
Yeah, going to be very tough. And it has Amadeo, like you say. And there are some races where you're going to want to go deeper, for sure.
Well, that'll do it for our Saturday, May the 5th Hastings selections. We still got lots more picks to go today, but but that'll do it for our May 5th selections. Next up on screen will be a quick recap of both Drew and my selections. We'll start off with me.
You're up first.
In the first race, I went with a 2, a little brown guy. I went 2, 5, and 4. In race number 2, I went 6, 7, and 3, and that's 6 horses. Veni, Vidi, Vici. Hopefully comes to the winner's circle. In the third race, I went 1, 7, and 6. Whistler Gold, the winner. In race number 4, I went 8, 2, and 4. The 8 is Sunny Soloro. In race number 5, I went with the 7, Arrive. I went 7, 1, 2. In race 6, a nice allowance event, co-feature, I went 2, 1, and 3. The favored number 2, Sunnyside Gal. In race number 7, the feature, the Jim Coleman Province, I went 5, 1, and 6. The 5, Clear the Runway out of the hot Greg Tracy barn. And then the 8th and final, as you just heard, I like the 8, BMT. I went 8, 4, and 2.
And moving on to me. In the first, I went with the 5, Lookout Dubai, on top of 2, 1. In the second, I went with the 7, Sir Hayden, out of the Tracy McCarthy barn, on top of the 3, 1. In the third, number 7, True Grit, on top of the 1, 6. In the fourth, number 4, 2, 5, and 10, with 2, 9 below it. In the fifth, number 1, Womb Broom Express, on top of the 5 and 4. In the sixth, number 2, Sunnyside Gal, with the 3 and the 1. In the seventh, number 5, Clear the Runway, on top with 6 and 1. And in the last, I agree with Mike, number 8, BMT, with the 4 and 2.
Well, Drew, there's not just 8 races at Hastings today. There's one other kind of key race of the day. You know, some race they call the Kentucky Derby or whatever it is.
That's a pretty exciting one.
Yeah, about 20 of them lining up for the Run for the Roses. Should be a great day. They also have a number of stakes races on the program. I know post time starts early at Churchill as well, so get out early to your local simulcast place or over to Hastings or Fraser Downs. So there's lots of interesting betting going on today. Lots of big guaranteed pools, but let's briefly touch on the Kentucky Derby. Who do you like?
I gotta go with Mario.
Attaboy, home boy.
My man Mario. I like this horse's tactical speed. The 19 hole, obviously, isn't ideal. No. But I have Union Rags.
It'll be the first one. Sorry, it'll be the first one in however many years, 140.
Exactly.
There's been no 19 hole. They got a little asterisk beside him.
Gonna buck the trend. But I have Union Rags in the third spot. I really like Union Rags, but I see a lot of problems with his post, right? If you break a step slower, he's just going to be buried and have a lot of work to do. I like how Isle Another, the 19, Mario can kind of pick where he lays him. Liaison's on his own side, doesn't have a lot of speed, so he's going to be out there on his own, and with a long run to that first turn, he's going to be able to kind of place him where he wants. So I think it's, not necessarily a really bad thing. I think it's kind of goes in his favor. In the second spot, I have Alpha. Horse is 15-1 morning line, but I just like. He looks like he can run all day, right? He's got a huge Tomlinson number for the distance. He's got the breeding, the Bernardini, Nijinsky, too. I really like Alpha. I went with, I'll have another on top. Go Mario, with Alpha and Union Rags in third.
Yeah, I used the Wood race as a kind of a key race. Alpha did lose to my top pick, Gemologist.
He had a bit of a tough go.
He did have a tough trip, but I'm going to try Gemologist. I think he's the horse that will move forward at 1.25 miles. He's lightly raced this year. I know he's undefeated, but he's not going to get bet like an undefeated horse. He's not going to be 3-1 or 4-1. He's going to be a decent price. And
7, 8-1 or something.
I liked what I saw. I know Alpha had a tough trip, but when Alpha came to him, this horse he was fun and he was loafing on that end, and he dug in and went on about his business again. Like there was more there. Like he won the Wood playing, which to me is perfect. I like that because I know he'll get tested in the Derby, and I like the 15 hole. He won't get, as you mentioned about Union Rags, the inside might not be the place to be. Going to need some luck, Union Rags, but I just think Gemologist should get a good run at things. I like the professionalism that horse showed. When a horse came to him, he dug in and run on. He dropped his ears back and he ran on again, and that to me is a sign of a pro. And
it shows too that the Wood maybe didn't take a ton out of him.
No, he was waiting. As I said, he was waiting on horses, and as I said, he's been lightly campaigned. He hasn't got the grueling schedule going into the Derby, so he's a horse maybe to follow all the way through. I put Union Rags in for second. I definitely think this horse is the most talented horse in the race, but he may be compromised by post. He certainly,
I don't like the post.
I mean, the inside got him last time and got him in the Derby, in the Florida
Derby.
Exactly.
He had a tough trip there. And
he got stuffed in behind a slow pace. I think things will stretch out today.
Horses. Now there's 20.
But Julian should be able to get him out and get him into the outside at some point. But he's gifted. He's as good as anyone. And I put, of course, Bodemeister in there. He's a neat horse. Yeah. He's got a bucket trend too. He's no horse has ever won the Derby without
he's pretty
running it too.
He's not very seasoned, but that was a monster effort in Arkansas.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets loose on the head end, but I think there could be some other horses that have a say in that.
But I don't think he really needs the lead, eh?
Probably not. But from post 6, you got to go, and then see what happens. But I mean, if you don't commit for the lead, and you get some horses coming from the outside that commit, you can get shuffled, and things can get a little ugly. But
20 horses, which for sure there'll be 20 this year, because first year they're also eligibles as well.
Yeah, I got my Adonis sitting on there in post 21. See if that's going to be if he can get in there and be the first 21 to win. Well, that'll do it for our Kentucky Derby selections. Drew's head to the 19, the home horse. I'll have another owned by Canadian J. Paul Redham, and I'm going to head to the 15. He's going to go 19, 11, and 4.
Little picture of Mario there. Yep, 19.
Very nice little
Alpha
cute.
Rags.
No pictures for me.
Yeah.
I got 15 gemologists over the 4 Union Rags and the 6 Bodemeister. All right, good luck everyone in your Hastings selections as well as the Kentucky Derby. It should be a great afternoon today. Enjoy it. That's what this sport's all about. Days like this, it should be a lot of electricity in the air, and it should be a lot of fun. So enjoy it.
Hastings, go up to Ross's bar and get a mint julep.
That Ross is talented. He's the most talented bartender at Hastings.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so go get them mint juleps. Before we leave you, we should mention that we're going to have an interview coming up right after this. I had a chance to catch up with Bill McNeil, who is the general manager of Teletheatre BC. He's responsible for all the sites throughout the province of British Columbia. They take in a lot of money throughout the province. We're open 7 days a week. They take in a lot of money, and Bill's the man in charge. And I had a chance to catch up with him. So please enjoy this interview that we had earlier this week. Our special guest today here on Handicappers Corner is Bill McNeil. He is the General Manager and Chief Operating Officer of Teletheatre BC. Thanks for joining us, Bill.
Thanks, Mike.
Tell us a little bit about your role at TBC. I know you've been there for quite some time.
Yeah, I've been the CEO and GM of TBC now for 6.5 years. Been involved in the racing industry in British Columbia for 8.5. And my role as CEO and GM is to oversee all of the business affairs for off-track wagering in British Columbia, both through our bricks and mortars locations. We have 20 racebook locations throughout the entire province where people can go in and watch and wager on live horse racing. And the other half of the business is our phone and internet wagering service through our partner HPIBet.com, where again BC residents can go online and wager on product as well. And for those who are not yet HPIBet.com members through Horseplay Interactive, starting last year, there's an easy and simple process to actually sign on and sign up for an account directly through the internet. So we oversee all of the off-track betting for the province of British Columbia.
I know, a lot of money funnels through your hands in a season. And briefly explain how vital TBC is to the purse accounts for both industries.
Yeah, over the last several years, the amount of wagering going through TBC has increased dramatically. At this point, we're contributing approximately 65% of the overall handle of wagering throughout all British Columbia comes through TBC, either bricks and mortar or on our phone and internet. And that translates into a fairly significant amount of money flowing back into the industry, into the purse pools, back to the general pool of funds for the BC Horse Racing Industry Management Committee to allocate back to the partners to use. Last year we contributed approximately $10 million to the pool for distribution back to the industry, and this year we're on target to do about $10 million again.
I understand that this year you were able to do some more extensive marketing at the TBC sites. I know you're pretty excited about that. Yeah,
absolutely. We're actually just, as we speak, in the process of hiring a marketing coordinator to join us at TBC to specifically focus on marketing our product. And over the next couple of months, we will be doing some fairly significant events out at our 20 racebook locations. putting on some customer appreciation events to thank our loyal customers. That
those always go. Those get a lot of. You get a lot of mileage out of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, running some fun handicapping contests and doing some things just to create some excitement, create some awareness of where our 20 race books are located throughout the province, ramping up some better advertising, some better signage, and again, thanking our loyal, long-standing customers for their continued patronage, but also attempting to bring in some new blood and interest new people in coming out and learning how to wager on horse racing.
Well, that's great news. Well, thanks for joining us today here on Handicappers Corner. Continued success, Bill, and we look forward to having you on again.
Thank you very much, Mike.
All right.
If he says the horse can do, can do, can do. I'm picking Valentine, cause on the morning line, the guy's got him bigger than 5 to 9. But make it epitaph, he wins it by a half. Going to this here in the Telegraph.